I think in Rossini's music, first of all, the convention of his music is there are all these repetitions which are prevalent there without fail. And that would have been, again, in his period of writing, it would have just been what was taken for granted, is that everything would need to come back and happen a second time. And of course, what we've been working very hard to achieve here is to make it seem spontaneous, a lot of ornamentation the second time around, all that kind of thing, so it feels improvised. But ultimately, what we're trying to get, are we trying to get some laughs here, right? Right. So talking about just about doing physical comedy, about what it is to do comedy, or what it is to do physical comedy, or whatever kind of comedy we're doing.
Comedy is a tricky thing, and it's a challenging thing to do. There is a science behind comedy. There are laws of comic timing. And the first day of rehearsal, I got together with the cast, and we explored those physical laws together as a group, so that they kind of got this comic vocabulary and comic rhythm, which is very close to Rossini's musical rhythm. He sets up a pattern, he repeats that pattern, and then the third time when you expect something that you've already heard, he changes it in some way. There's an ornamentation, or there's a different direction, and that's one of the laws of comedy. We have setup, repetition, rupture, the surprising thing that then comes that makes us laugh.
Exactly, and I think psychologically, the repeat of music, like in any kind of music, like in pop music, like a chorus coming back or something, the second time around, it's reinforcing for an audience member because they're now familiar with the music. When it comes back, there's a certain kind of psychological response to that. So I think that that's also part of what happens, is that when you get the audience sort of, you have the repetition in the music, but also when they get comfortable with the things coming back, that's when the comedy can come.
Yes.
You know, the golden rule of threes in comedy, that
Yes.
the third time is where the big payoff is.
And if you think while speaking, which is difficult because in modern theater we think and then we speak. If you think while speaking, the first time you say something, it's the first time you've thought it.
Yeah.
So if something comes out and says, "I love you," you then have to take yourself aback and say it again. "I love you, it felt actually good to say that." And now we earn our coloratura by saying, "Oh my God, if I love you, then," and suddenly the coloratura starts to mean something to us.
You know, there's so many levels that you're dealing with, because Rossini wrote his music because of the words, and we have to acknowledge sort of what Rossini's relationship was to the text, and he's given us just this panoply, this vast world of ideas for how to portray this music, and then for us to physicalize that and give it a physical life, I think is the real...
Something that I often say that a lot of opera audience members don't really understand is the number of things that these singers are thinking about at any given moment. Because they've got you who's helping them through the music and conducting them. They've got their director. We have the Italian language coach who comes in and is dealing with their use of this particular language. Yeah. They have to be able to follow the conductor and one another. They have to think in another language. And it's their job to make it appear absolutely effortless up there. They're doing the Olympics of singing. There's nothing that is amplified. That's a live human being up there, repeating things over and over again as if it's for the first time, and the audience gets to sit back and laugh and enjoy the beauty of the music. And it's amazing that they're able to do that. It amazes me all the time when
Me too, I agree.